Welcome to Elections 101 in 5. In the next couple of minutes, we will take a deep dive into certain provisions of Nigeria's electoral law that are relevant, to you as a voter or you as a stakeholder in the electoral process. On this show, we focus on how, not who to vote. My name is Samson Itodo. Let's get started. Do you know the limits imposed by the Electoral Act for campaign spending? Candidates and political parties are engaged in several political and campaign activities and they're spending money. But do you know that the law places limits on how much a candidate and a political party can spend? Well, we asked some Nigerians on the streets to hear what they think, what they believe, and what they know, and listen to their responses.
In a campaign, a candidate is expected not to spend more than 100 million naira.
I don't know, but I think it should not exceed 100 million naira.
Bro, I don't know how much the candidate is supposed to spend on.
I didn't have the idea.
Very interesting responses. I love the streets so much and it never fails. As already established, funding in an election is part of the democratic process. But there are provisions spelled out in our electoral law that limits the amount of money that political parties and candidates can spend in an election. And this is important because of the attempt and the efforts to reduce, the influence of money in our elections. If people spend a lot of money to get into office, the first thing they will do when they get into office is to recoup that money. So the law places limits. But then, the Electoral Act also explains what election expenses are. And so what the law says is the overall cost incurred by a candidate in an election from the official start of campaigns to election day is what is referred to as campaign expenses. Note, expenses made from the commencement of campaigns to election day. That simply means that parties are allowed to spend money. But if they spend more than that, there are penalties. So now, what does the law say? In Section 88 of the Electoral Act, the law makes certain prescriptions on the amount of money candidates can spend. Now, for presidential elections, for presidential candidates, they cannot spend more than 5 billion naira. For governorship candidates, they can't spend above 1 billion naira. For the Senate, it is 100 million. For House of Reps, it's 70 million. For state houses of assembly, it's what? It's 30 million. So these are the limits that the law places for campaign expenses. Now, the law also prescribes sanctions. So assuming a candidate spend more than this amount that the law has placed, is there a penalty? The law actually provides a penalty that any candidate who acts against this law upon conviction either serve a jail term of 12 months or be made to pay a fine of 1% of the amount permitted as the limit for campaign expenditure. So all of this information that we have provided today are contained in Section 88 of the Electoral Act. You may ask, how can I get a copy of the Electoral Act? You can download a copy of the Act on our website, www.yaga.org, to obtain a copy of the Electoral Act 2022. And that's Election 101 in 5. Now you know the limits for campaign expenses for different sets of candidates. Please use this information to hold politicians and candidates to account. You can also watch previous episodes of the show on our YouTube channel, Yaga Africa TV. If you have questions or particular topics you want us to address on this show, please feel free to reach us on any of the platforms displayed on your screen, because this show is for you, by you, and with you. My name is Samson Itodo. See you tomorrow. But until then, please prepare, get your PVC, and get ready to vote on February 25th and March 11, 2023 for only one reason: because our lives depend on it. Bye for now.